The legacy that lives on. Time moved on after St. Cloud, but the echoes of that race never truly faded. Normfliegerin returned to her stable not as a hopeful contender, but as a proven winner. The atmosphere around her had changed. There was a quiet respect now, from grooms who walked past her box a little slower, from riders who watched her gallop a little longer, from rivals who no longer underestimated her name on a race card. For Valdemar Hixt, this was the most satisfying part of the journey. Wins are fleeting, but belief that endures, that is legacy. He knew the St. Cloud victory had unlocked something deeper in Normfliegerin. Confidence is invisible, but in racing, it is everything. Morning after morning she trained with a new authority. Her stride was smoother, her ears stayed forward. She no longer questioned herself. The horse who once waited for permission now moved as if she belonged wherever she was asked to go. Mickaël Barzalona felt it the first time he sat on her again. There was no rush. No need for bold moves or desperate decisions. The trust they had built in that single race had carried forward. They understood each other now, not through commands but through feeling. Racing, at its highest level, is not about control. It is about harmony. As new races approached, expectations grew. The press spoke of St. Cloud as a turning point. Fans called the ride trailblazing. Young jockeys replayed it, studying the courage behind every choice. But Mickaël knew the truth. Bravery is not loud. It is calm. In the next race, Normfliegerin didn't need chaos to shine. She traveled smoothly, found her rhythm, and finished with strength. Whether she won or placed no longer mattered the same way. She had already crossed the most important line, the one inside herself. Valdemar watched from the rail, hands in pockets, expression steady. He had learned long ago that horses don't need pressure, they need clarity. Normfliegerin had it now. And then came the moment every racing story eventually faces, the realization that success is not meant to be held forever, but passed on. Normfliegerin's legacy was no longer just in results, it was an inspiration. Stable staff spoke of her calmness. Young horses followed her lead. She had become a reference point, proof that patience and belief can turn potential into truth. For Mickaël, her story blended into the larger rhythm of his career. New mounts came, new challenges followed. But every rider carries certain moments that stay untouched by time. St. Cloud was one of his. A reminder that instinct, when trusted, becomes art. Years from now, fans would still mention that race. Not because it changed the sport, but because it captured its soul. A horse boxed in. A rider who refused to accept limits. A trainer who never stopped believing. That is how legacies are built. Not in noise, not in numbers. But in moments when courage quietly chooses the harder path. Normfliegerin did not just win a race. She left a mark. And in racing, that is immortality.